All right, welcome to the fourth and final game of the evening. Um, you might notice that this is not a review. This is an impressions vid. Um, wasn't intended to be that with this game, Hoplegs. Like this was supposed to come out a few months ago, or full release. But this is behind development. There are things like multiplayer that were supposed to be there by now, but are not. And welcome to the world of game development, and especially early access game development. Um, but this stayed on the schedule nonetheless. So over to Twilight with his impressions of Hoplegs.
All right. I'll put uh, well, to put it best. I don't think this game is exactly for me. Definitely more for the people who are seeking interesting form of challenge. The Hoplegs is this physics-ish game where you're a block that was actually two people combined into one thing through an accident of like some ordinary guy and a wizard, and you're on your way to meet with this king and to warn him of this prophesized doomsday is happening involving this void that's eating the world. Well, yeah, thus far, as long as you have the patience for this sort of game, as it is doing all right right now. I think some parts of it could possibly use some work, though. Most particularly, they're not too far along in the beginning parts of the game. You do encounter this void that's causing everything to disappear, and those sections get more aggravating than they probably should be. And it feels like I'm not sure if this is actually the intent. It feels more like it's trying to repel you than it seems like you're trying to traverse some like goo or something like that, which is what the impression I'm getting. I'm not entirely positive on that. I guess I should speak on the controls though. The controls are that you're using. I advise you using a controller for this. The face buttons on your controller. For example, my Logitech here, the X, Y, B, A controls, face buttons. And to propel yourself with these objects that the block. Hoppus is his name, or at least it's the name of one of the people who formed this chain. Sticks out of them like you can customize two various unlockable objects. They can acquire a stick, a foot, a chimney. All sorts of things can actually stick out the block to propel you about. And yeah, you have to perform these various hops to maneuver about the levels. And at first, it starts out fairly easy. Heck, there's two different types of face button controls. One of them for the using the individual sides of your character to propel yourself. But there's a second set of controls that you can switch to where, regardless of wherever Hoppus is facing, it will always be that same button that you use, whichever side it is. It doesn't switch; it just remains the same. That's easy to do while you're just traversing a rather um, straightforward stage. But as the stages get more complex, like press these buttons, having to traverse these mountain sides and floating land masses, yeah, it does get more difficult. But like I said, I don't think this for me. I think I've said before, I'm fairly patient, but yeah, I have my limits as well. And yeah, this game, especially where I got to, it got pretty aggravating. But it's a it's supposed to be a challenge, and yeah, it is a challenge. Not a bad challenge. And I say, currently it's doing things all right for what it's going for. Like I said, like the void sections could probably use some work. And let's see, there's something else I wanted to mention as well. Um, um, and well, there was something else I wanted to mention, but I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, yeah, see if I'll think about it here in just a moment. But anyway, yeah, anyway, yeah, currently for the solo game, yeah, I think it's doing well. I think they're looking, yeah, yeah, the controls are working quite right and such, and I see nothing wrong with this sort of this style of game. It'll just depend on the player and their personal preferences, especially if they don't get their wires crossed too much. As you could probably notice in the footage here, I keep pressing the wrong buttons sometimes, especially that one when I accidentally went off that cliff. But yeah, yeah, and like I said, this is a game that's meant for challenges. There's two different modes. There's the story mode and there's the peak mode. The peak is basically this. There's no story behind it. You're just challenging yourself. See how well you can climb this mountain level, and I didn't get too far in that. Um, I wasn't quite good enough at it. It seems. So yeah, yeah. So I would be curious to see what the multiplayer for this game would be like. It's supposed to have multiplayer at some point. Looks like a co-op and a versus type multiplayer. For a game like this, it definitely would be interesting to see. Unfortunately, since they're not available right now, I couldn't test them out for myself. Of course, I would need somebody to play this game with as well. So yeah, there's that. This game does have a level editor. Before I forget about that, I'd say fairly robust as well. From what I've seen, I didn't really make any levels. I kind of messed around with it, and the edit. Now the amount of editing that can be done is pretty impressive. Not sure if the overlap with some of the objects was intentional, but if it is, yeah, it has a lot of potential for it. I didn't really get any opportunities to actually test out if there are any custom made levels. At one point, kept coming across something about that. I'm not sure if it was like the workshop was not accessible yet or something like that. I'm not sure. Well, anyway, anybody got any questions?
Nope.
Mm,
Yeah, I think I'm good.
yeah.
Are you pressing? What are you pressing to make yourself spin in the black void area?
Oh yeah. I guess I should mention that. Yeah. You can use your control pad or stick to alter your directions. Which way you want to move. That is somewhat limited unless you're in this void here.
Aha.
I was trying to get myself to go forward to this thing, but as I mentioned before, this thing is prone to repelling you more so than allowing you to move through it. I guess it'll feel like a sludge-like substance, and I guess it's supposed to repel you. I'm not sure really. I encountered a more airborne variant of this later on and never could get through it. That's where I stopped. um,
And you can't like stop spinning.
you kind of, you sort of can, but
By
there's
like
still this
spinning the other way, and it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a while for it to actually get moving in that direction, in the opposite direction, and even then, it doesn't really help. And as you can see, I kind of got frustrated and quit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, gameplay wise, yeah, it's not for me, but and there's definitely an audience for this, and it's mostly gotten positive reviews as far in its early access stage, and yeah, I see nothing wrong with it. Honestly, it's not a bad game. Just as I repeated, it's just not for me.
A lot of that going on tonight.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, visual wise, it seems to be going for this sort of I guess family friendly aesthetic. I guess I could go ahead and mention the music. It's definitely got a sort of a charming, whimsical feel to it. Can't really describe it though. But the aesthetic definitely works for this game in its favor, and just how wacky it is. Same with the music. Like I said, it's very whimsical feeling. I can't remember any music that really stuck out to me. And I don't remember anyway in the sound effects either. It's a lot of whimsy. That's the best way to put it. So yeah, I guess if nobody has any questions, I guess I would take us to pricing then.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, this is in early access. It's $17.99, $18. Yeah, this is a hard one to judge, honestly. I say this would be worth it if there's a lot in the way. If there is a lot in the way of custom levels. This game has like 25 stages in its story mode, I believe, if I remember correctly. And well, actually, yeah, I say $17.99 is a good price for this. Thing, a little more. It is a challenging game, and it will keep you entertained if you're up for this sort of challenge. It'll keep you busy for a while as you try to improve and master the maneuvering of your block. And I've got to, well, I did sort of mention this before. There is also some unlockables as well. You can customize your character. That mustache wasn't always there. I put it there a little later on when I was playing the game. So yeah, of course there's the level editing, and if you like that, yeah, there's plenty of content for $17.99 right now. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this. as it currently is. If you have the patience and the willingness to challenge yourself at this sort of game, I'd say I could come back to it at some point. I just gotta see how it is once it's fully released. So yeah, right now I can recommend it. Yeah, that's it for me.
Right then, so that'll about do it for this review session. The week ahead. On Wednesday, June 9th, we'll be having John Pickett from Manga Gamer once more. Don't know what we're covering yet. We honestly haven't discussed that yet. I'm sure John will pop up in the next day or two. It's just kind of gotten that informal at this point, given his, let's say, 50 appearances. And that might not be an exaggerated number.
Mm-hmm.
The point is, I'm sure he'll have stuff for us to cover. I left him a reminder message today, so maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday. And yeah, no Friday show, but we might begin E3 coverage that day. It all depends on how much we really want to cover Deep Silver or not. We'll figure that out on Wednesday because, not all of the crew is here. And we thought we had it about figured last Wednesday, and then, several more companies announced things. But till then, I shall wish you good gaming.